Hello, YouTube. Alright, so welcome to the Norton Standard Anti-virus review. This took me 4 times to record, and honestly, I couldn't even get past the first 5 seconds of it. So, today we're going to be reviewing the Norton antivirus for standard protection for one device. And for one device, I have to say it is pretty good. There are a number of tools, not just Norton Standard Antivirus Security, but also Norton Utilities, which helps you optimize the performance of your computer and also helps with the appearance of it, makes it look a little bit more organized, helps with storage. Pretty good for $49.99, by the way. It's the price. It's a little bit up there, but it's totally worth the bang for your buck. So today what we're going to be looking at are a couple of things and that really push the Norton antivirus scene. So for today we're going to be testing out the Norton antivirus by actually putting in viruses into our computer. In this one right here, this USB right here contains 2 viruses that attackers would use to gain unauthorized access into the machine. This would be a Windows reverse computer shell, which will allow you to see someone's webcam and record their mic and put in a keylogger. The other one is a remote command shell, which is basically CMD but remotely, which is pretty bad. You can delete System32 remotely, and that could kill a computer. It's basically WinNuke, but manual WinNuke, I guess. So we're going to be taking a look at that virus in a moment, but for right now, what we care about is the features that Norton has for us. So for right now, we're going to be checking out the Norton antivirus application. This is the application that comes with Norton itself. So we can see here that right here there are several types of scans that we can do to check our computer. We can do a quick scan for recording purposes. I'm going to do a quick scan right now, but there are of course full system scans, custom scans, and custom task scans that you can do. All of these depend on your certain situation. A full system scan is if you're really paranoid or you want to make sure that your computer is 100% clean. Use that. A custom scan is something I use a lot when I make a new vulnerability or I'm trying to test out a backdoor. I want to see which area of the computer I have infected and see if I still have access to that after I scan it or after Norton quarantines it. There's also Norton Power Eraser, which is like Norton antivirus, but it covers really hard to find problems like corrupted disk partitions, unallocated space that's being corrupted. You know, things that a normal user or even a tech guru wouldn't find, manually. Norton Insight determines which files need to be scanned, so if there's a sketchy... what Norton really does is they record what files have been downloaded by each user, and then they log those files in a database, and they see which files are more common, which files are prone to having malicious software in them, and which files, are generally trusted by the whole Norton community. So that's good if you want to stay, up to date. Diagnostic reports see key information about your devices, so if you want to know your specs of your device, like your motherboard or something, hard disk, basic specs of GPU, CPU. I have an Intel Core i5. Your wireless dual band AC adapter, specs pretty much. So we'll do a quick scan right here, and while that is running, we can check out some more things. Live update is Norton's update application thing. So most really like standard software apps have their own update service. Norton has this, but it's built into Norton software. I think that's for security reasons, to allow so that it's more secure. Because if you're downloading something off of directly from the internet, there is a chance that an attacker could inject malicious code in between those mirrors, and your device could be compromised through updating Norton. So what I like about Live Update is that it's right there on the application, so you don't have to go online and search for the newest software, or possibly be swindled by someone who says, hey man, I have Norton, the new software version, the beta version. You want to try it out? It's free, you can get premium membership. And then you're like, okay, but in reality, that guy just gave you a malicious code that you've now put into your computer, and what do you know? You're owned. So I guess there are some updates that I haven't updated yet, so I think that's a little bit scary. So that's what Live Update is. There's also history of certain tasks, and it'll take a while to load. I've done a lot with Norton. Advanced, let me check this out right here. For auto protect, sonar protection, these are some of the settings that you can allow Norton to run. I'll explain all of them pretty briefly because I want to get to Norton Utilities, which is really the marvel, I think the pinnacle of Norton's security protocols, because it's incredibly useful. Not only does it help secure your computer, but it also improves its performance, which I think is a great deal for $50. So auto protect, basically, whenever you download a file off of the internet, it scans that file very quickly and tells you whether it is malicious, infected, or if it's, trusted. I have some problems with auto protect, specifically when downloading things off of GitHub. Sometimes when software isn't licensed or signed by a publisher, auto protect will create a false positive and stop me from downloading certain applications that I want to test out, like, for example, games off of GameJolt. If you like indie games, I wouldn't recommend getting this Norton, because AutoProtect really does over-discriminate a lot of the files that it scans. I've had certain games like, what was it, that stupid Five Nights at Freddy's RPG. It's a little bit profane in language, but if you guys remember that, Markiplier did a playthrough on that. I had Norton when it was when that game first came out, the first install of it, and when I tried to download it, Norton AutoProtect continued to stop the download of that and kept on setting it to quarantine. And I was like, I really want to play this game, let me play it. It was in a RAR format, and I guess it's malicious in a RAR format. So then I had to go in and restore the file, and it was a real pain in the butt. I like this very strict security of it, but it would be a lot easier if there was a more user-friendly way for someone to restore a file that's been falsely quarantined and put into protection from Norton, when really it's just a standalone program that doesn't have anything malicious about it. Sonar protection, Sonar protection, Symantec Online Network for Advanced Response. Wow. So I guess it monitors your computer and monitors unknown and malicious applications, which I haven't used. Sonar protection really I haven't touched on that for a long while, but it seems pretty cool. Network Smart Firewall, I have to say it's a lot better than Windows Defender and Standard Firewall. The great thing about Smart Firewall is how you can manually configure it. The best part is how you can just turn it on and off if you're ever doing security research. It's really easy to, make your device a vulnerable test thing. So it's great, for testing purposes. It's also great for standard security for a normal user. I think it's really just awesome. You also have intrusion protection, which is something that I specialize in, and I think it's great to have that to turn it on and off. And it also does a great job of protecting people, especially when I was doing a couple of intrusion tests when I was programming a rootkit in order to get into the boot sector. Intrusion protection immediately stopped my rootkit from running on this device right here, and I just gotta say that is really damn awesome. I mean, I had to create a new payload for that rootkit and then put it back in, but then I had to turn this off, which was a little bit of a pain, but I honestly have to say I'm very impressed with how Norton created that. Email protection, stop spammers from sending you spam. You can check right here on the scan, 2 tracking cookies. Yes, I got my tracking cookies down. Nice. And by the way, tracking cookies are, like, I don't want to be profane, but they are, bad. So it's really good. I like how it prioritizes your privacy. For the web, identity safe. I really don't use the web right here. The most one that I use is download intelligence. It provides information about the safety and reputation of downloads to protect against malware, which I think is pretty cool. Safe surfing, browser protection, identity safe. Browser protection prevents malware programs and malicious websites from using browser vulnerabilities to attack your computer. This one I have to say I'm a little bit skeptic about. I will make a video about this later, but this doesn't necessarily work all the time. Like, for example, what I did was I created for testing purposes, honestly. I created a fake Facebook login page, and using another computer that I have in here, I went to the URL that I provided for that fake login page, and I went on it on this computer right here, because I use this for a lot of my testing purposes, and Norton did absolutely nothing to detect that it was a malicious website. Even though I already had a lot of JavaScript running on it, because JavaScript, aside from being really easy to code, it's very, very fast in its execution in the browser. So I injected malicious code into there so that it would not only tell me what device you were running, but certain little kinks about your operating system. On top of that, it was also a credential harvester. So with the fake Facebook login, you would type in your username and password, and then I would take those and compare that to improve my security. And Norton didn't really detect any of that, which I think is pretty scary. I recommend checking in on more development for browser protection as my only recommendation for web services. So we can close this. This is for identity. This is really more for browsing purposes. It'll allow you to download certain extensions. If you don't know what an extension is, but it's a little tiny application that goes on your toolbar in your browser, and it allows you to open apps very quickly. It's pretty simple. I really don't have a lot of that. There's a password generator, statistics, ID settings, identity safe. I don't use these personally, so I wouldn't be the best person to tell you this. The one thing that I do appreciate is anti-phishing. I do a lot of phishing attacks, and I have to tell you that this does work 100%. Also, spear phishing. Spear phishing works some of the time. Sometimes Norton doesn't detect the newest versions of spear phishing. Like, for example, in the social engineering toolkit or set, there's a spear phishing option that is not able to be detected by Norton, especially with a mass mailer attack. They don't really detect it. On top of DLL memory leaks, and you can also set this for a PPTX file, PowerPoint file, for another memory leak file, and it really doesn't detect that either. So now we will open performance, and this is pretty easy. It's like mini Norton utilities. You can optimize your disk, and it's pretty quick. Analyzes your drive, and optimizes. We'll have this right here. You also have a nice little option that says shut down computer upon completion, which I think is pretty cool. You can do a file cleanup, which cleans up your temp directory, which is incredibly useful if you ever go into Windows, C/Windows/temp. There is around like 14 gigabytes of space there that nobody uses, and I think that's great. We can cancel this. It's fine. You can also get more Norton products, which is cool. So, now that we have that, we can move on to the desired product right now, which is... Oh yeah, Norton Live update. Oh, nice. My thing is updated. Alright, so now we can close this. Now we can see Norton Utilities. Now this tells you a lot of information about our computer. As you can see, I only have 106.2 gigabytes of space, which is pretty sad. I need to get a new hard drive in here. Yep. Okay, so the best thing that I like about this is that for the standard dashboard, you have one-click optimization. Now this runs multiple system health tasks and security tasks that will keep your device running like new. But I have to say, it takes a lot of time. I'll go over these options because I won't do the one-click optimization right now, but I have to say that there are a lot of options for this. If you go to performance, we can do all of these separately. You can clean your registry, which is pretty awesome. It will stop my recording, so I'm not going to do that. You can also compact your registry, which is great if you're having registry problems. Clean your registry also repairs registry issues, like if you're having HKE problems. You try cleaning your registry and Norton will resolve these issues for you. You can also defragment disks. It's not recommended, it's not recommended that you defragment SSDs because this will risk the lifespan of their device. So if you have an SSD, if you're using an SSD on your device, do not defragment your disks. Only do it if you have a hard disk or with multiple partitions. But if you have an SSD, do not defragment. You can also optimize Windows. This is pretty straightforward. You can go in here and you can set what do you like more? Do you want the best performance or do you want the best appearance for your system? I like to keep it balanced because I like my computer to look cool, but I also want it to perform well. So I have that. You can also boost Windows Startup. It allows you to manage certain startup programs, which is honestly I think pretty cool. We have privacy, which allows you to clear your Windows history, clear your browsing history for those of you who like to do that. You can also clear your third-party software traces. Bleach disks allow you to leave a free space on your disks, allowing you to have, it's basically like this, like when you go to CMD and you open disk part, and it opens this command right here. And then all you have to do in it, you can do a disk list. List disks. There you go. List disk. There you go. And it tells you disk 0 is obviously my hard drive. And then you can also clean this whole thing, format it, find the free space, and create that as a secondary partition, which is pretty cool. You can also shred files. So if there's a file you really don't want anybody to see, use this. Recovery allows you to recover lost files in your recycling bin, which is pretty cool. You can find duplicate files, so if you may have downloaded like 3 of the like one file that you needed, you can find those duplicate files, find their hash ID. The cool part about finding duplicate files is that it finds a hash ID, so even if you renamed it, it will still find it for you. You can also repair drives, so if you have a USB that's been corrupted, you can plug this in, it repairs your drive automatically. It also does it at boot. You can also restore registry backups, so if you have a certain registry configuration that you have and you want to bring it back, you can use this to back it up. You can uninstall unused software, which is a godsend. What I used to do is to remove factory files and that came with that computer is that I would open PowerShell. And then I would right click or run as administrator, and then I would run the command get hyphen. You would have to open this get appx package and then dash find stir and then the name of your app. So I can find Cortana really fast right here, and it will run it in a minute. And yeah, it tells me that, and then I can remove the package there, because it was a manual process, and I have to do it one by one by every package. But I really like this GUI that they made. It's really good for users who aren't as tech savvy as the standard security researcher. So I think that's pretty cool. So now here comes the fun part. Now we are going to test out Norton's capability in stopping an actual virus attack. So right here, this is the testing device that we're going to be using. And let's see how it fares. So I'm going to plug it into my laptop right now. And let's see if it already detects the virus intrusion. Alright. It's already detecting the problem with it. So let's open Robin. And as you can see right here, I have two little files, payload and program. Payload and program. And what these things do is they send information back to attackers, which would be my computer that's over there. So, see, we have disable smart firewall, disable auto protect. Let's see what happens when I open payload. Strange. Nothing yet. Oh. Wow. Already. The moment I turned on the payload, this one is for the remote command shell option. Norton immediately removed that as a generic 347 Trojan. Wow. Nice. Alright. So, since it removed the first payload, we can use program. This is the meter predator shell that I created in Kali a few seconds ago. Oh. I think it also removed that one too. Whoa. Let's see what's going on now. I don't know about you guys, but that was pretty cool. Two viruses and two vulnerabilities and backdoors that were put on my drive were immediately identified by Norton and then deleted. Honestly, that is pretty damn cool. Honestly, I have to say I'm very impressed with Norton's capability as a software manufacturer and antivirus program. And if I were going to recommend this software, I would totally say yes. However, I would only recommend it for people who are very self-conscious about their security. If you really don't care about security and you think that antivirus is getting in the way of you downloading free movies online or something like that, then Norton really isn't the antivirus for you. I suggest getting WebRoot Security or Avast, I guess. And you can actually see a report from the payloads that they took away. And honestly, let's check this out. Look at that. Tracking cookies and payload.exe. It's quarantined and removed. Nice. So, basically what I'm saying is you have to be self-conscious about the security for Norton to work. If you don't know how to maneuver around an antivirus or a program well, then you're not going to do well with this antivirus. It's an incredible tool that comes with lots of options in order to help you maintain your security online. But if you can't, if you don't want to, then seriously, don't buy this antivirus. There are other options for you. But if you're someone like me who does a lot of security research and a lot of videos that have to do with viruses or backdoors and vulnerabilities, then of course, get Norton Security right now for all your devices. Because I'm telling you, Norton really does work. And for $49.99, money in that case really doesn't matter. But it's for security. So hope you guys like this video, and shout out to all the guys at Norton. I'm not being paid at all to say this. I just think it's a great product that people should know about. And thank you guys for watching, and have a super califragilistic XBLicious day.